The Illuminati, banker families, corporate elites, what they do, they seduce. They seduce governments by using all their stolen treasures to create debt systems, to make other governments in debt to them and their ideas. Because they believe that they can create the illusion that we need them. They try to make it important, that they're so important to society and that they're so important to governmental structure, but they're not. And we don't need them on any level. The only thing that they're good for at this point in time, because they've done nothing, they have done absolutely nothing to curb their negative intentions with a world that may actually suit us all. They keep on pressing with their dark agendas and their illusions and their bullshit. I'm telling you, their end is near. Their end is coming. If I gotta be that one person that's not scared to talk about them, so be it. There's others out there. The thing is, it's gonna take you too. I'm calling all citizens to stand up. I'm calling all human beings to stand up for what's right. Even on a fundamental level, because we're facing fundamental problems and fundamental issues. And the Illuminati is the problem. They are the problem. And so it's our job and our duty to root them out of our societies. To exterminate them out of our consciousness. And yet, all the structures that they've built and all the corporations that they seduced give them this haughty feeling of superiority. And in the end, they're going to be nothing more than a blip on the timeline of what they've actually done. And the only thing that they can salvage for themselves is being a part of the history books. And not in a good light either. They're going to be a part of the history books as a reminder of what not to be like. Of what isn't integrity. Of what isn't good ethics. They are going to be the symbol for everything wrong and everything negative in business, everything wrong and everything immoral in society. They are going to be the standard model of everything corrupt within the human consciousness. And they will mark as a reminder of what never to be like. And forever their names will not be lived in infamy or any coolness. We're going to teach our generations before us, teach our generations after us, that these beings, these dark human beings, are suffering from lack of integrity. They're suffering from lack of compassion, lack of ingenuity. And they are the epitome of spoiled little kids, of spoiled little rich kids. They are the epitome of spoiled brats who are greedy, whose businesses are hand-me-down family names, like spoiled little brats, because that's what they are. But they're worse than that, because they also symbolize psychosis, narcissism. They're sociopaths. They're psychotic and schizophrenic. They are everything that's vile to this planet. And as these investigations open, I'm going to offer myself as a guide. Because what's going to be in the palm of your hand is their lives. Much like we were in the palm of their hands when we were asleep to the illusions and the corruption of their society. And I'm going to remind you and remind them that their day's up. And remind you that you have the power of their fates in your hand. and they will be arrested, and they will be apprehended. The corruption will no longer go on. So what's it going to be like? These investigations start happening on a massive scale, and the media is already covering them. All these banking scandals. It's going to uncover a lot of gross things about these families. And I'm not going to hold you back on how angry you get, because there's a whole lot of people on this planet who are going to get angry. And all I have to do is remind you, if you've never felt such feelings of anger before about what they've done to you, of what loss they've created for you and your families, all for the sake of gain for themselves and their families. It's a twisted game they play, but what goes around comes around. So I remind you of all the wars and all the death that they've caused. I remind you of all the poisons that they've poisoned us with foods. So every corporation with the intent of hanging out with these guys like they're your buddies, your whole corporation is going to go under. Your entire family name will be ripped apart from the history books of any integrity, of any moral principle, because you don't stand in any. What you stand for and what you symbolize has nothing to do with moral principle or higher standards or higher principles of human consciousness or human society. Everything that you stand for is dark and negative, murderous, treasonous, distrustful. So it is you that lack integrity. It's you that lacks skill. It's you and your corporate banker families that lack competence. You're incompetent. And nothing more than a bunch of illusions. So by all means, I'm inviting the public to get angry. By all means, I'm inviting the world to be angry at these families, because their fates are in our hands now, not the other way around. And it's them who will wake up to what they've done against us, no matter what their fate will become of them. I'm not asking for your forgiveness, for they haven't asked for ours, nor do they do anything to show us that their intentions would be of a changed heart, which proves further that they're sick. That they're sick in the mind, sick in the heart. They're incapable of doing anything of integrity. And they use fear to keep everyone in the industry, in the media industry, and in Hollywood, to keep their mouths shut with fear. But the harder you squeeze something, the more it starts slipping through your fingers, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So I'm here to tell you to quit being scared of the Illuminati. They're no one to be afraid of. They're not anybody to be afraid of. Just because they've created your cars, and they've created the buildings, and they've created the infrastructure, and they put their symbols on everything, it does not mean they own everything. It's the illusion that they do. It's the illusion that you need these corporations to feed you and to clothe you, to wipe your ass. But we don't need them. We never did. And we damn sure don't need banks. And we damn sure don't need banker families. Corrupt banker families who no one fears anymore. And no one will fear. They're not anyone to be afraid of. And in the end, you'll see them for what they are. Incompetent, spineless, weak. And if anyone were to be spoiled and go with the flow and change their heart more than anybody else, it would be them. Because that's how weak they are. It's nothing more than a family principle that they've passed down amongst themselves through generations. That's all it was. That's the epitome of a spoiled brat, of a spoiled punk. And that's exactly what they are. And they've been given every opportunity, they've been given every chance to change things, to turn things around, and they still refuse through their arrogance. So through that arrogance and through that superiority will now lead to their downfall. And my hands are clean of what fate lies before them. For the destiny that they've carved from themselves. For the destiny of being incompetent. What is the destiny of a human who has no integrity, who has no competence, and who's meaningless to society? Other than to show others, to set themselves as an example, to never follow them, and to never follow anyone like them. And as our civilization goes on and survives, and we arrest these individuals, they will forever be within this universe a reminder of what not to be. They will forever be a reminder of what isn't integrity and what isn't good principle. They will forever be a reminder in this universe for all throughout time that they are in fact the expendable containers of society, that they in fact are the useless eaters, that they in fact are the waste of human society. Forever in this universe, there will be a reminder that this is not something that you want to be. These human beings that these beings are not anything you ever want to be. They're not something to be inspired by. They're not someone to be aspired to. They are not leaders. They have no rights as leaders. And they've lost all credibility. And they've lost all integrity. And it's only going to continue to get worse for them. So I welcome you and I welcome the public to feel free to express to your utmost freedom your discontent and your anger towards all the people that they've made suffer, to all the people that they've given cancer to, and to all the lives that they've killed and murdered over the past hundreds, thousands of years that they've maintained control, all for the sake for their spoiled little brat pity parties that they're about to throw for themselves. Because that's what they are, a bunch of spoiled brats. And you know what they do to people who are actually cooler than them? You know what a lot of these Illuminati punks do to actual real individuals who have integrity, ingeniousness, smarts, personality, inventions, geniuses, the real people who are really cool, not these leeches. But let me tell you what they do. They steal because they don't have it within themselves to be creative on their own. Within themselves, they don't have a personality. They have nothing. They are the absence of light. And all they do and all they know is how to steal from others who are good. So they steal technologies. They steal their material from other geniuses. They steal their integrity from other places. Because that's all they know how to do. They don't have it within themselves to create goodness on themselves or to create any outflowing personality that is of any benefit to anybody. It's all a bunch of recycled work. It's all a bunch of recycled material. They've ran out of material a long time ago. They have no material. And so they regurgitate everything that comes along just like a spoiled little brat would do. Just like a spoiled little punk would do. Is listen to daddy and my rich little Illuminati, super rich Illuminati elite family is I'm going to act like daddy. And we know most of them are perverted. Wait till you uncover the real history of these people and the sickness that they've allowed themselves to be. Not only in this time, but in times past. Even the emperors of Rome were sick individuals. They did a lot of sick and twisted things. Why? Because they're spoiled brats. You want to understand the culture of these people? Don't let them tell you what their culture is about, because they don't even know what their culture is about other than darkness and murder. Anyone that is within their system, anyone in the media and anyone in corporate business, you are on the borderline of being stripped of your integrity from all throughout human society forever and ever and ever. And you will have to either relocate or get another job doing something else, because whatever you're doing now and the fear that you have to speak out against these punks is going to lead to your demise. Much like the arrogance within them is going to lead to their demise for themselves. Because they don't have it within themselves. The Illuminati are not illuminated on anything other than the absence of light. That's the only thing that they're illuminated, quote unquote, on. Just a bunch of spoiled little punks who are carrying on the insignia of their family, handed down through generation, with no integrity. They have no personalities. They have no integrity. They have no real stand-up character. And that's who they really are. And you're afraid of them. And humanity is afraid of these punks. And this is my message to the Illuminati. Get some new material. Because your material is old. It isn't cool. And everyone sees through your regurgitated bullshit. I can look at the eyes of people who look at the personality that you carry and realize that it's a stolen personality. I can see in the faces of other people when they look into the eyes of the Illuminati that their personality is nothing more than stolen personalities. Stolen ingenuity. With nothing coming from themselves other than darkness, stupidity, and incompetence. So this is a message to the Illuminati. Take your punk asses on, because we're coming for you in full fucking force.